Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Bhagauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Adaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jai Gurudev ki Jai Prabhupada ki Jai Gaurnitai Bhagwan ki Jai Radha Shama Sundar ji ki Jai Jai Krishna Balaram ji ki Jai Janmashtami Mahotsav ki Jai Prabhupada Parents Day ki Jai Shravata Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai Gaur Pramanande Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for joining. Let us begin this session with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasya Gyenanjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Pada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Nitangsha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, dear devotees, we are after almost 1 month, we are starting again from chapter 10, if you recall or refresh the memory. We finished chapter 9, which was so wonderful. Now we are going to begin chapter 10 from today, Bhagavad Gita, every Wednesday, same time, 5 to 6 p.m. So there are few key points before we begin that most people in this chapter, the chapter entitled by Prabhupada as Opulence of the Absolute. And you may think opulence is like all wealth, strength. Is that aspect? Not really all, just a little glimpse of it. This chapter entitled by Vyasdev as Vibhuti Yoga. You can connect with Krishna through a attractive feature in your life. Whenever you see any attractive feature, you say, wow. Whether it's an artist who painted beautiful, and Prabhupada was staring at it. And then Prabhupada said, Krishna is so intelligent. He gave some intelligence to this man, and he made a beautiful art work that, yeah, it was in a Fisher mansion, Detroit. Prabhupada was staring at it, and it cost a few $1 million. He owned that. So, but Prabhupada saw Krishna there, and he saw the artist had that Krishna gave him that gift of intelligence to do a beautiful painting. So anywhere you see, whether it's the Grand Canyon, Taj Mahal, Himalayas, beautiful mountain, river, it's supposed to attract us. We at least say, wow, look at that, it's beautiful spring. Whatever, natural or nature's beauty, this Krishna said a little spark of his splendor. So now, when we get attracted to this, what's supposed to happen? we should be reminded of Krishna by seeing this, just like Prabhupada did. And then, not only there, it's supposed to take you to Krishna. It should remind you of Krishna, then take you to Krishna. This is how we make spiritual advancement. And this is what Lord Krishna is trying to tell us in this chapter. In this chapter, so let us start with when Krishna is saying, I am this or I am that among the species or among the creation, what does it mean? So the last verse, if you have a chance, you can read the last verse. Jajjat vibhuti mat sattam simat urjitam evava tattat avagachattam mamatejam sambhava. When there is a combination of greatness and sweetness, affection goes to very high level for Krishna. So that's good for in that sense. When Krishna is saying, among the aquatics I'm the shark, or among the senses I'm the mind, the powerful or astonishing, means one among many or above many. One, Krishna is saying, I am one among many. Eko bahuna. I am one amongst many. Bahuna. So many material manifestations are there. Among them, one is special. And it is among the many. So Vibhuti Yoga enable us to connect the one amongst many first to one above the many. That's second. Supreme Lord, who is transcendental. So Vibhuti Yoga chapter takes us one among the many to one above the many. Just remember that. Then it will be easy to grasp it. We can move from spark to the whole by connecting of Vibhuti Yoga. That's the purpose of this chapter. I'm just giving a little falashruti before we begin. Okay, this person has an intelligence, just like the example I gave. Whenever you see a person has an intelligence, Einstein, Oppenheimer, whatever, whoever it is, first thing immediately we should think, not how this person has intelligence, how Krishna gave him the intelligence. First we think. We take our consciousness through this understanding to the Supreme Lord. If Krishna can make this person very bright, how much Krishna is bright? How much intelligent Krishna is? So one among many indicates that it's also material, but one above many refers to one who is transcendental. So third time I'm mentioning, one amongst many, one above many. Okay, this is called Vibhuti Yoga for me to understand. There are 42 verses in this chapter. And I was going through the overview, making a little note. 1 to 7, no one knows Krishna as he is the source of all. Krishna reveals that. No one knows him. Even demigod, the sages, they do not know him. Then 8 to 11 are the most important. There is a Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita. Krishna can be known only through bhakti by his grace. That is established on this 8 to 11, these 4 verses. Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita. Then 12 to 18, Arjuna accepts Krishna's glories and desire to hear more. That's why 19 to all the way to 42, Krishna reveals 72 vibhutis. You can count. That's how I counted. Gita doesn't say 72 vibhuti, but I counted through his vibhuti. So context of vibhuti yoga means extraordinary material manifestation reflects spark of Krishna's glory. Extraordinary material manifestation reflects spark of Krishna's glory. So that's one. Second is, such manifestation naturally attracts our attention. I went to San Diego many years back, 30 years back in San Diego, Sea World. My God, 1,000 people, they pay ticket to come inside to see the dolphin play and all this. It's like, wow, what a big, powerful creature play like this. People are attracted, but they don't know the purpose of this creation. It's supposed to take them to Krishna. That is the missing. This is what Krishna is revealing. So purpose is to focus on Krishna, not the specific manifestation. Most of the people in this world, when look attractive things, they get attracted. Yes. But spiritualists think about the source and get attracted towards Krishna. So we should remember, you can detect, am I material or spiritual? When you see something striking, beautiful house or palace, anything, beautiful tree, beautiful painting, anything you see in this world, it's beautiful, or you say, wow, astonishing. If you are materialist, you will say, wow, the builder is good who made it. If you're spiritualist, you will say that this house stands best in the whole community. That is Krishna. And then that conception will take you to Krishna, how much Krishna can create, more beautiful than all this. Then you are spiritualist. Okay, with that note, let us begin from text 1. Anybody has Bhagavad Gita? Would you like to start reading? This chapter 10, entitled The Opulence of the Absolute. And as I mentioned, 1 to 7, Krishna revealed that no one knows Krishna, even though he is the source of all. Okay. Anyone volunteer to read?
Yes, Prabhu, I can read.
Okay.
Chapter 10. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Bhuya eva mahobayo shunu me paramang vacha jatte aham priyomanaya bakhyami hitakamaya. Translation given by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit, I shall speak to your father, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained.
Purport.
The word Bhagavan is explained thus by Parasara Muni, one who is full in 6 opulences, who has full strength, full name, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation, is Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. While Krishna was present on this earth, he displayed all 6 opulences. Therefore, great sages like Parasara Muni have all accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Krishna is instructing Arjuna in more confidential knowledge of his opulences and his work. Previously, beginning with the 7th chapter, the Lord has already explained his different energies and how they are acting. Now, in this chapter, he explains his specific opulences to Arjuna. In the previous chapter, he has clearly explained his different energies to establish devotion in firm conviction. Again, in this chapter, he tells Arjuna about his manifestation and various opulences. The more one hears about the Supreme God, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. One should always hear about the Lord in the association of devotees. That will enhance one's devotional service. Discourses in the society of devotees can take place only among those who are really anxious to be Krishna consciousness. Others cannot take part of such discourses. The Lord clearly tells Arjuna that because of Arjuna is very dear to him, for his benefit, such discourses are taking place.
Hmm. Very good. Thank you. So this verse, first verse, 1 to 7, as Krishna is going to reveal that who knows him. Bhuya eva, again, certainly. Bhuya, Mahabahu, oh, very powerful one, Arjuna. Srinume, please hear. Paramam Vacha, the supreme word. Jatte ham priyamanaya, because you are dear to me. So because Arjuna is dear to him, previous chapter he says, Krishna said to Arjuna, because you are non-envious. I hope you all remember. Non-envious. Now you may say, what non-envious got to do of understanding Bhagavad Gita? Because to relish Bhagavad Gita, you have to have faith. Otherwise, you will be eating honey without opening the cap of the bottle. So you'll be leaking the bottle and you'll go on and on and on and on and on. And after a little while, you'll say, this honey doesn't have any taste. Well, somebody who is intelligent will say, you never opened the bottle. You're supposed to open the bottle. And if you don't open the bottle, you'll never be able to taste it, what is inside. But to open it, you have to be skillful how to open it. So similarly, Krishna told to Arjuna, those who are idam tute guhyat, what is that? Idam tute guyyatamam prabhakshami anusuyave. If you look at 9.1, previous chapter, same thing Krishna used. First sloka here also similar. He says that Gyanam Bigyanam Sahita. This, Arjuna, I'm going to give you this secret knowledge because you are non-envious to me. What is non-envious? Non-envious means you accept me as I am. I am Supreme God, you accept me. You're not doubting me. You're not doubting on the word of the scriptures. You are not doubting on the words of the sages or the devotees. So when you don't have a doubt, you don't have a ignorance, and you have a faith, then you will experience. What you will experience? Jnanam Vijnanam Sahita. That how this confidential knowledge will transform your heart, will give you realization by which the material misery will disappear. Material misery will disappear means material misery will be there. You will still get, your body will still get old, but you will not be affected by it. You will see indestructibility of spiritual reality. You will not be afraid of death. Eventually, your body will be separate from you. You'll see that, but it will not scare you or give you frighten. You'll be fearless. Like Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, till last moment of his leaving this body, he was speaking about Krishna. You can see they recorded. So this is how Krishna revealed to Arjuna that hearing this knowledge, it will give you realization. You will apply it. And then you will have your own revelation. God will reveal the conclusive truth in your heart. And that time, you will experience indestructibility of spiritual reality. So in this verse, chapter 10, Krishna has started chapter 10 on a very personal note, you can say. You devote yourself to me, Krishna told to Arjuna, and I guarantee that you will come back to me. There is no doubt. Now, Krishna is speaking that I'll speak to you more about it. Krishna is speaking, Krishna is speaking a knowledge which is very dear to Krishna. He's speaking to people here. We are not talking about Karmi, Gyanis, the whole world. We are talking about the devotees. Why? Because they are dear to Krishna. Paramam Bacha. They accept Krishna as a supreme, his words as a supreme. The Bhagavad Gita's word, we accept as a supreme truth. Supreme words, which is knowledge of bhakti, knowledge of Bhagavan, which leads to bhakti. Bhakti comes from bhakti. Bhakti gives you bhakti. Bhakti never produces anything bad. Karma, gyan, nothing. Bhakti never produces anything bad. Bhakti produces pure love, and bhakti comes from bhakti. Bhakti only gives bhakti. By bhakti, you will get bhakti. Without bhakti, you will not get bhakti. In the purport we just read, Shubir Prabhu read, discourses in the society of devotees like ISKCON can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. We reserve our anxiety of material things, but we are not anxious about Krishna conscious things. Even Krishna conscious can be at different level: fear, desire, duty, and love. So at our level, Rupa Goswami Pad says, Jena kena prakarena mano Krishna nivesaya. Samaharadar, remember Krishna. So this chapter will definitely help us. We'll see the 72 vibhutis around us. You see, if your child or parents or spouse is very intelligent, you should think immediately, Krishna gave that intelligence to this person, and it will take you to Krishna. Many ways we can be Krishna conscious every level in our life. In other words, Krishna, through this chapter, revealing his feeling, love for us, and he's also inviting us to love him. This is so beautiful. So let's do text 2. Who would like to read? Anyone else would like to read? Chapter 10, text 2.
Can I read, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Na me vidung suragana prabhavang na maharshaya aham ahomadirhi devanang maharshinang cha sarvasha. Translation: neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Purport: as stated in the Bhagavatam Brahma Samhita, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. No one is greater than him. He is the cause of all causes. Here it is also stated by the Lord personally that he is the cause of all the demigods and sages. Even the demigods and great sages cannot understand Krishna. They can understand neither his name nor his personality. So, what is the position of the so-called scholars of this tiny planet? No one can understand why this Supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being. and execute such wonderful, uncommon activities. One should know then that scholarship is not the qualification necessary to understand Krishna. Even the demigods and the great sages have tried to understand Krishna by their mental speculation, and they have failed to do so. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also it is clearly said that even the great demigods are not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They can speculate to the limits of their imperfect senses and can reach the opposite conclusion of impersonalism, of something not manifested by the three qualities of the material nature, or they can imagine something by mental speculation. But it is not possible to understand Krishna by such foolish speculation. Here, the Lord indirectly says that if anyone wants to know the absolute truth, here I am present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am the Supreme. One should know this. Although one cannot understand the inconceivable Lord who is personally present, he nonetheless exists. We can actually understand Krishna, who is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, simply by studying his words in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The conception of the God as some ruling power or as the impersonal Brahma can be reached by the persons who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in the transcendental position. Because most men cannot understand Krishna in his actual situation. Out of his causeless mercy, he descends to show favor of such speculators. Yet, despite the Supreme Lord's uncommon activities, these speculators, due to the contamination in the material energy, still think that the impersonal Brahman is the supreme. Only the devotees who are fully surrendered unto the Supreme Lord can understand by the grace of the Supreme Personality that He is Krishna. The devotees of the Lord do not bother about the impersonal Brahman conception of God. Their faith and devotion bring them to surrender immediately unto the Supreme Lord. And out of the causeless mercy of Krishna, they can understand Krishna. No one else can understand him. So even great sages agree. What is Atma? What is the Supreme? It is He whom we have to worship. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So this is actually very confidential verse. I mean, in front of you, if you ever see some demigod like Indra appear, immediately you will think, oh, he knows Krishna better than me. Or if you have a great sage, Durvasha Rishi or some great sage appeared in your house, what do you think? Oh, he knows God. He's a great sage. But these verse can bewilder us if we don't understand properly. Name vidhu sura gana prabhavam na maharshaya. Aham adihi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasa. Name vidhu, I'm not known. Vidhu means to know. Name vidhu, I'm not known. By whom? Suragana. Sura means demigod. Suragana, all the demigods, 33 million. Prabhavam, I'm the origin. My origin are not known by demigods. This is what Krishna is emphasizing. My origin. how Krishna came, originally what started. Causation philosophy also has to have a cause. What is the cause of Krishna? By himself, of himself, for himself. When you know the secret, then you say, I want to be for Krishna. In reality, everything for himself. Only difference is you accept or you don't accept. If we accept everything for Krishna, okay, my life is for Krishna. I want to please him and everything. You will be million times, not million, 1,000 trillion times happier than happiness you ever experience in this world. That's what verse says. Brahmananda bhavedesha cheta praradugunikrita naitam bhakti sukhambude paramanutulamapi. So Krishna reveals, my origin are not known by demigods. What to speak of demigods? Even the Maharshaya do not know me. Who are the Maharishi? Like Brihaspati. Wow, he's a guru of all the demigods. He doesn't know. How he doesn't know? Krishna reveals here. Adihi Devanam. I came before them. Maharshinam cha sarvasa. Even all the Maharshis, they came after me. What he is going to speak, others do not know about that because he is sarva karana karanam, cause of all causes. Nobody can claim, I'm the cause of my own cause. No, that is not possible. We all have to agree, we are forced to die, leave this body. We are forced, literally, helplessly. So Krishna demonstrates he is the original person. Mahayanti Jat Suraya, even demigods are bewildered. In 10th canto, Brahmaji, Indra, all get bewildered by Krishna. And I remember reading one time, Prabhupada says, the conception of God as some ruling power or as the impersonal, in this purport we also just heard from Mother Krishna Manjuret, that the impersonal Brahman can be reached by person who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in transcendental position. So we can correlate this with super soul, Paramatma, and Brahman conception roughly. Conception of God as some ruling power, as an impersonal Brahman. So the Paramatma is the controller of this world, and impersonal Brahman is all pervading effulgence. These are two primary conceptions of God, which are present in many theistic conceptions. Judaism, I remember Dr. Weisenberg, he got his PhD on Torah, and he said at the end of the conclusion, Moses 5 chapter, what they call Torah, it's similar to Brahman concept. Yes, God is there, but there is no relationship, established details are not there. Many, all the religion of this world, if you think, they mostly focus either Paramatma conception of God or Brahman conception of God. But what Krishna is revealing here as a Bhagavan conception of God. Krishna says he cannot be known by all that. But he says, if you come to know me, there are great benefits available. Nati vidu suragana prabhavam naha marshaya. So it's very powerful verse. Neither the host of demigods Nor the great sages know my origin or my opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigod and sages. Only by bhakti we can know, we can go beyond Hinduism idea of polytheism or monotheism idea of Christianity to polymorphic by monotheism. We just had Janmashtami. Now we are welcoming Radhashtami next 11th September. And more we understand, then we will devote ourselves and serve the Lord. And we'll accept subordination, dependence on Krishna voluntarily. Then life is successful, you can say in one sense. And go on. Our highest happiness is not up to us. Our highest happiness is connection with Krishna. Not only connection, but for him, if we can mold our life for his pleasure, if we give our life, then we will see our highest happiness. Okay, we can read one more. If anyone has 10th canto chapter, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 3. We did 2. We can do one more. Anyone would like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read?
Yes.
Yo mam ajam anadim cha veti lokamaheshwaram asamudhasa marteshu sarva papaha pramuchyate. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only, undiluted among men, is freed from all sins. Translation. As stated in the 7th chapter, 7.3, Manusyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatati Siddhaye. Those who are trying to elevate themselves to the platform of spiritual realization are not ordinary men. They are superior to millions and millions of ordinary men who have no knowledge of spiritual realization. But out of those actually trying to understand their spiritual situation, one who can come to the understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the proprietor of everything, the unborn, is the most successful spiritually realized person. In that stage only, when one has fully understood Krishna's supreme position, can one be free completely from all sinful reactions. Here the Lord is described by the word aja, meaning unborn, but he is distinct from the living entities who are described in the 2nd chapter as aja. The Lord is different from the living entities who are taking birth and dying due to material attachment. The conditioned souls are changing their bodies, but his body is not changeable. Even when he comes to this material world, he comes as the same unborn. Therefore, in the 4th chapter, it is said that the Lord, by his internal potency, is not under the inferior material energy, but is always in the superior energy. In this verse, the word Veti Lok Maheshwaram indicate that one should know that Lord Krishna is the supreme proprietor of the planetary systems of the universe. He was existing before the creation, and he is different from his creation. All the demigods were created within this material world. But as far as Krishna is concerned, it is said that he is not created. Therefore, Krishna is different even from the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. And because he is the creator of Brahma, Shiva, and all the other demigods, he is the supreme person of all planets. Sri Krishna is therefore different from everything that is created, and anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reactions. One must be liberated from all sinful reactions to be in the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Only by devotional service can he be known and not by any other means, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. One should not try to understand Krishna as a human being, as stated previously. Only a foolish person thinks him to be a human being. This is again expressed in a different way. A man who is not foolish, who is intelligent enough to understand the constitutional position of the Godhead, is always free from all sinful reactions. If Krishna is known as son of Devaki, then how can he be unborn? That is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. When he appeared before Devaki and Vasudeva, he was not born as an ordinary child. He appeared in his original form and then he transformed himself into an ordinary child. Anyone, anything done under the direction of Krishna is transcendental. It cannot be contaminated by material reactions, which may be auspicious or inauspicious. The conception that there are things auspicious and inauspicious in the material world is more or less a mental concoction because there is nothing auspicious in the material world. Everything is inauspicious because the very material nature is inauspicious. We simply imagine it to be auspicious. Real auspiciousness depends on activities in Krishna consciousness in full devotion and service. Therefore, if we at all want our activities to be auspicious, then we should work under the directions of the Supreme Lord. Such directions are given in authoritative scriptures such as Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, or from a bona fide spiritual master. Because the spiritual master is the representative of the Supreme Lord, his direction is directly the direction of the Supreme Lord. The spiritual master, saintly persons, and scriptures direct in the same way. There is no contradiction in these three sources. All actions done under such direction are free from reactions of pious or impious activities of this material world. The transcendental attitude of the devotee in the performance of activities is actually that of renunciation, and this is called sannyas. As stated in the first verse of the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, one who acts as a matter of duty because he has been ordered to do so by Supreme Lord and who does not seek shelter in the fruits of his activities, anashrita karmphalam, is a true renouncer. Anyone acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord is actually sannyasi and a yogi, and not the man who has simply taken the dress of the sannyasi or a pseudo yogi. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you. So few things very important here. I love Prabhupada's purport because if we read just the translation and Krishna's word, Krishna said correct, but I don't have a good understanding unless it is explained properly, which is relevant to my life right now. So Prabhupada's purport gives a connection between Krishna's word, what Krishna is trying to say, and how I can understand it and how I can actually get affected and purify my existence. So this is very nice. This purport is very nice. Jo mam ajam anadim cha. First thing, understand that I am beyond understanding of time. Everything under the spell of time, is it? You are born when? This day I was born. This day I went to high school. This day I got a job. This day I got married. This day I became old. This day I got retired. This day I died. Or whatever. Well, you won't speak after that. But at least everything you have like that. But if you think little deeper, there is no beginning, there is no end to Krishna. We have beginning. We came into this world and there's a time we'll be out or end of me in this world. But Krishna's, there is no such birth, death, or appearing, disappearing. It appears like that, like opening a curtain. Oh, he was there. We didn't see it. Now it's covered and now it's open, visible. That's all it is. But Krishna is always there. So this is very nice. Krishna is telling us that Atma, the soul, is also Ajam, Anadi. Means we don't have actually birth or death. We experience that because we identify with this body. Krishna reveals in this verse, Vetti Loko Maheshwaram. Atma is never Loko Maheshwara. Brahmaji is also Loko Maheshwara. He is Lord Brahma, Brahma Loka, but not all planets. Sarva Loko Maheshwara. Krishna says, I am the Mahesh or the supreme of all the planet, all the existence. Same compound word Krishna is using here, which he did in 5.29. I am beyond the time and controller of everyone. Asammura samorteshu. Asammura. Person is undeluded. So mura is delusion, deluded. Asammura means undeluded. Is one of free from delusion. Samurteshu, all people in this world is marta, are meant to death ultimately. But sarva papi pramuchate, sarva papi pramuchate. When we come to know Krishna, that is the secret. When we learn how to know, when we learn about Krishna, when we, let's be practically, like we know Krishna philosophically, now we are hearing about Krishna, we think, okay, Krishna says in chapter 10 that the demigod doesn't know his origin, the sages doesn't know origin, and you think for a few minutes. That's how you philosophically you become attached to Krishna. But Krishna can reveal to us. Aha. How does he reveal? When I have a desire to serve him under his devotee or guru's guidance, then Krishna will reveal to us. That time we will know him as he is. Impurity means misdirected desire, that our desire is directed towards worldly object. So knowing Krishna is transformational to our heart because attracted to Krishna, not remain attached towards worldly object. So hearing about Krishna is also purifying. Right now we are getting purified, literally purified. Maya means when we feel something is valuable, but it is not connected with Krishna. Karmakandi thinks, this is auspicious, this is not so, I'll do this, I'll not do this. They think of material calculation, profit and loss. Jnani thinks everything is cause of bondage, so I will not do anything. Devotee means they see everything belongs to Krishna. Whatever required in the service, I will engage. That is called devotee. So you can ask yourself where you do fit. Anything that you can, if you are walking in a forest and see beautiful flower, you can think, I can offer the flower to Krishna. Pluck the flower and bring it to Krishna. If you say, no, I don't want to touch anything or don't need anything from this world, then you are kind of developing, not a devotee, maybe little bit of devotee mixed with jnani. Karmi wants to exploit, jnani wants to renounce. We are not exploiter or renouncer. Who are we? Utilizer. Because karma and jnana, both material consciousness. attachment to matter and detachment or aversion to matter, both has to be given up. When we say bhakti, bhakti is in different category because it is centered on attraction to Krishna beyond the world of matter. Jnana and karma are two basic faculties of every living being. More specifically, human being, all of us. Jnana connotes metaphorically, you can say with knowledge or cognition. I know. I think I can do it. I think I'll do it. You make a decision, you thinking, knowledge, cognition. And when we say karma, karma means like activity with my hand, with my leg. If we consider a body, it has a hands and a head and has a heart. Metaphorically, karma is primarily the path of the senses, hands, legs, like this. Whereas jnana is the path of the head. I should not do this. No, I should do this. You think like this. Underlying the hands and the head and unifying it is all is the heart. So bhakti is the process of the heart. But it is not the process of the heart alone. It also engages the hands and the head. So when jnana and karma are covered, maybe it's a little technical, but if we can grasp it, they are motivated by something other than pure love. That is why jnana karma anavritam means removing the covering. Covering is basically, when you say what is covering means within our heart, what is covering? Covering means is misdirected. Just like a, light has a white illumination. But if you put a red covering on the light, on a white light, everything will be red. Similarly, soul has a capacity for activity, action, and cognition. But when there is a lack of devotion to Krishna, then capacity for action and cognition are misdirected. It is not that bhakti, we don't reject activities or thinking. Bhakti devotees are both active and intellectual, but both these faculties are subordinated to the love they have for the Supreme and therefore harmonized. So I'll end with this, that one level we say we are trying to purify our heart. What does that mean? Purify our consciousness means removing the impression which are imposed upon us by the external world. I am for me. No, I'm for my Prabhupada, Guru, Krishna. I'm for Lord. I want to please the Lord. This is the purpose of my existence. Good. Then you are okay. If you say, well, I'm for me, I know what is good for me, I'll do only for me. I don't care about others. Then you are a little far. You are misdirected. So our jnana and karma are misdirected by the various conception and contamination that we have. So anavritam means uncovering. We remove those conception and contamination. When the soul's nature to love Krishna is activated, you feel like, I don't want to eat anything without offering to Krishna. No, I don't. I feel guilty. No, it is not proper. then it is properly directed. You changing, your heart is changing. That is devotional attitude. Sukdev Goswami, he was a monastic disposition, but when he understood how all attractive Supreme Person transcend the impersonal Brahman, then he used his phenomenal intelligence to compose and speak the Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, Jnana, which was abrita, covered, became anabrita, uncovered. He used the same knowledge to glorify the personal Bhagavan instead of understanding the impersonal Brahman, which is subordinate to the Supreme Lord. So like this, we can, like Arjuna. Arjuna was doing the karma, you can say, of fighting. He wanted to give it up, but Krishna did not sanction it. Instead, he told Arjuna to perform his duty with a spiritual conception and motivation. So we have the capacity for both action and cognition, which should harmonize and used for the purpose of bhakti, devotion. Then we are perfect. Life should be perfect. Okay, I end here. If anyone has any reflection or any further, otherwise, thank you for joining. We're looking forward to see all of you next Wednesday. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpataruvesya Kripa Sindhaveva Chupatidanam Pavane. Srila Prabhupada ki